I had taken over practice for a dentist that had been in practice for about 40 years. And when I did, I found a bunch of old dental stuff, and I kind of went hog wild at that point and got really into the dental antique thing. I saw in the newspaper that there was an auction for a old dental chair from the 1800s. And I went up and made sure I was the successful bidder for the chair. Searching through the history, the chair was from a dental office in Horse Cave, Kentucky by a Dr. Thomas. A dentist colleague of mine said, "Oh, there's a book about this guy that was caught in a cave, and that Dr. Thomas had something to do with that." Well, I got the book, Trapped, and indeed myself became trapped in the story. Floyd actually grew up in the area, and as the story goes, his family was not tremendously well off, and they had a cave on their property, Crystal Cave, and Floyd was indeed just completely crazy about caving and couldn't get enough of it and would climb into any hole available to see what was there. He actually had made an agreement with his neighbor, B. Doyle, and it was on B. Doyle's property in the Sand Cave is where Floyd actually got trapped and got caught as he was trying to explore for other entrances. This, back in 1925, was front page news on every single newspaper for at least about 14 days. A young reporter came down from the Courier-Journal by the name of Skeets Miller and interviewed poor Floyd. Floyd was caught to the point where he couldn't possibly escape. The entire country became fascinated by the reports of this poor fellow's life ebbing away one drip at a time of the cave water on his nose when nobody could seem to help him or get him out. The walls started caving in, and the rescuers had exhausted all the efforts and decided that they were going to leave Floyd entombed where he was trapped. And that didn't last too long. Dr. Thomas decided that it might be advantageous to actually extricate Floyd from his gravel tomb and very prominently parked it in the middle of Crystal Cave. If you tipped your guide, he would open the casket and you could take a glimpse of Floyd. They were some local people that were never caught that stole Floyd's body. They found it days later. What was left of poor Floyd was retrieved, put back in the cave, and then was eventually actually moved above ground and buried at the family homestead, and then reburied at the church up on Flint Ridge Road, where the body lies in state. So the poor guy was actually buried 5 times by the time it was all over.